Liliane Uringamana at the back, number 67. Let's see if she can just stay there now. The Brazilian rider we were talking about a little while ago, she's still hanging around the back of this race. She could do with trying to find her way up the group of riders into a more comfortable kind of level. It's one thing saying it, it's another thing actually doing it. This is where we saw the crash last time. Wow, that was a fast rock into that particular left-hander from the Norwegian, and back onto the cobbles for the second time. Now, last time we saw a number of riders really struggle up here. Moving up on the outside, Canada, the Ethiopian rider still there and looking good. And again, more riders feeling the pace. Chermanova actually has gone out the back again this time. Elodie Maloise of Canada, she's struggling a little bit here. Again, Sanne Lorijsen of Belgium, she's struggling too there on the right-hand side. It's the same riders who are feeling the pace. Oh, and a number of the Canadian riders suddenly feeling the pace. 3 of their riders going out the back. Abigail Fortier also struggling a little bit, number 12. Number 13 there is Raphael Hood. Suddenly, they are not enjoying this climb at all. Yet again, it's the Ethiopian rider who really rips it up the cobbles. And again, a selection is being made. Alexis Jaramillo also struggling. Front of the race then on the left-hand side, Ethiopia represented, Switzerland, Canada, Australia on the right-hand side. France are represented too, so are Italy. This forcing of the tempo is really starting to cause problems for riders every single lap. And there are riders who are finding these cobbles just not to their liking at all. And slowly but surely, this attritional race, even in these early stages, is starting to show us who the strongest bike riders are in this women's junior road race. Australia still have one rider right at the back there. There's a massive group of riders that have been dropped. So many of the British riders are in here as well. Gabriella McHugh, problem, gear problem there for Marta Dolven. Doesn't look like it's going to be the day for Megan Aarons at the moment. Her and her teammate Ruth Muller are also out the back. Well, that's a little bit of a surprise, but it's that cobbled section, that push that the climbers are making, that is really making a massive difference in this particular race. Anja Grossman of Switzerland, so animated. Australia have one representative in here. Italy have 3 riders in this front group. All 3 of their riders are making the selections. Elena De Laurentiis, Chantal Pugolo, Giada Silo. This is Gabriella McHugh. This is an extremely hard race so early. And there are just groups of riders spread all over this course.
As you can see, this relentless false flat all the way. At about inflated a jersey there. Okay, you got to give to make your way to the line. So things that won't reach.
Just coming under 50 minutes.
We got 3 more of these to do after this.
And I worry about the Ethiopian rider doing so much work. She's been on the front so many times, but maybe that's her main tactic of the day. Just keep the selections going, wear everybody down. She is the best chance so far of Africa getting a medal in these World Championships. Of course, this afternoon they've got a massive opportunity with Kim LaCour. End of the second lap of racing. 3 laps to go. The front group is only 18 riders now already. Now these riders will try and get back on over the top. They're already 19, 20 seconds down, 21 seconds down. But 18 riders in the front group. Sergei Kiros, Anja Grossman of Switzerland, Tully Schweitzer of Australia, Sydney Sorenga of Canada, Alejandra Nera of Spain, Giada Silo of Italy, Erin Berthman of Britain, Thais Poirier of France, Chantal Pugolo of Italy, Paula Ostis of Spain, Elena De Laurentiis of Italy, Maria Orkuchinska of Poland, Rafael Carrier of Canada, Liliana Edwards of the USA, Niamh Parslow of Australia, Laura Feeve of Belgium, Alyssa Sarkisov of the USA, and finally Oda Gissinger of the team of Norway. That's the front group of riders. There are some names not in the front group that we would have expected. Such is the harshness of this race so far. Anja Grossman looks very, very comfortable.
Australia, Colombia, Switzerland, Poland, Ecuador. Izo ni imodoka rero zitandukanye ziba zitwaye abatoza ndetse n'ibikoresho by'abakinnyi kugira ngo uwagira ikibazo mu nzira bamufashe. Umunya-Ethiopia rero akaba asoje lap ya kabiri ari uri imbere kandi yakomeje no kugora.
Australia now start to up the tempo. Erin Berthman in second place for Great Britain. It's Tully Schweitzer who's trying to keep this momentum going. This is number 50 from Chile. This is Marlon Rojas. Just in front of Ruth Muller, trying to come back into the peloton. Suddenly there's a little bit of a slowing of the pace. Well, today I'm sure that the Swiss riders remember Muriel Ferrer. A sad moment of 1 year and 1 day ago, with the UCI retiring number 84 from future Junior World Championships. And I'm sure today that the Swiss riders, Anja Grossman and Alia Marta, have got Muriel Ferrer in their minds in some way. And I'm sure the whole Swiss community has as well. An attack now from Spain. Big move down the right-hand side as we look. Having had that return of riders, they've decided to go on the offensive. And now Arabella Blackburn tries to do the same, immediately coming onto her wheel as the Swiss rider. There's Lara Almania, who is up the road now on the attack for Spain. This is the rundown of the Spanish team. So Lara Almania at the front, 18 years of age, third in the Junior National Road Race Championships. She's also had some good results this year. She won a race in Spain back in March, the Trofeo Via Dondara Femenino. She's ridden a few races across the world. And riders retiring here at the finish line. This is Hanakova of Czechia, end of her race. Well, this rider likes to go on the moves, Lara Almania. She's had quite a lot of top 6 places during this season, this rider, so she's not to be underestimated as she rides away. Rides for a little team called Rio Miera CC Marula Juniors. Everybody has just settled down now as she starts to grow her lead. The bottom of Kigali Golf this time will be 36.9 kilometres of racing to go. Alongside each other, number 61 and 62, Danshina and Ismailova, riding for the neutral athletes team. There they are in that kind of ice blue kit, I think we'll call it. Just riding alongside each other, keeping each other together. Megan Aarons has found her way back into the race, number 22. It's always difficult when you win the individual time trial as a junior. So much happens on that particular day. And I'm sure the excitement is pretty high as well. So your recovery time doesn't necessarily allow you to just be as prepared as you could be. So it might take her a little bit of time to just get herself feeling as she did the other day. So Almania looks around, glances across. There is a chance when you go through that turn that you can glance over to the left and you get an idea of where the peloton is. We're coming up to be inside the final 40 kilometres of today's race. Little bike tattoo on the Spanish rider. And she just sprints her way over the top of that little rise. Just keeping the momentum going, all very important. All these little techniques that riders learn at this sort of age. Just keep the momentum over the top of the climb. Don't let the climb slow you down. Just sprint over the top. Keep the momentum over the top and keep pushing so that you accelerate your way onto the descent. So if you're just joining us, we are into 3 laps to go. We've got one rider off the front. It's the Spanish rider, Almeida. She's just attacked. She's gone clear. And here's a rundown of the situation. Peloton. And a little bit behind the Spanish team. One rider has been dropped. There's a lot of people around the race at the moment today and helping out with the various teams. Just seen a little post from Africa Rising, which is the organisation that's doing everything it can to try and promote the African riders. And I think Benin have got a shared car today with Namibia for the women's junior race. They've brought in one of their riders, Roger Surin, who we've seen racing, as the Namibian mechanic. And they've got Adrian Neonshuti driving. And I think I mentioned him the other day, so while they're in the car, they've called Dan Craven, who's from Namibia, to say hello as well. So everybody linking in together. Incredibly, today, I can't quite believe it, it's 10 years since Lizzie Deignan won the women's road race in Richmond in Virginia. 10 years goes quickly, doesn't it? Well, the fans enjoying this race so far as we make our way towards the climb of Kigali Gulf this time. We're almost at the bottom. This rider's going to be first onto it. Then we'll see whether there's any more damage on this climb as riders try to accelerate. We'll see whether next time round we have more than the 18 riders we had in the peloton. Things have swelled now. More riders are coming back. It's one of those courses where you just don't give up. You make sure that you try and keep the pressure on. And retiring here at the finish is Davine Ogbe of Nigeria. Just trying to recover after what has been a tough race. Today's race started with 74 kilometres of racing to go. We're now at 36.8, so we're inside the midway point. Thank you for all your messages today. At Ant McCrossness, if you would like to get hold of me during the racing. We've got a big, long day of coverage of today's races with the junior women and then the elite women this afternoon that we are very much looking forward to. How is that race going to play out? 500 metres or so to go to the top of Kigali Gulf this time. We crest it at 36.1 kilometres of racing to go. Megan Aarons doesn't enjoy these little accelerations, does she, at the back? Those legs must be hurting after that time trial. She's just looking for any way of staying there. I don't know if you've had a look at Alison Jackson's social media in the last day or so, but she's got a lovely reel of all the shots that she's taken of the locals out on their bikes. And I saw the other day when we were out and about. I haven't had much chance to be out and about because we've been here most of the time, but with people with big, massive bunches of bananas on the back of a bike, or milk crates, or carrying doors or windows or whatever on the back of these long wheelbase machines that they have. It's absolutely incredible to see. Yet again, it's Sanja Grossman on the front who is setting the pace. The Ethiopian rider decides, Kiros, to just sit in the wheels this time. Maybe decided it's good to keep a little bit of energy in check. The gap is 28 seconds. I don't think that's 28 seconds though, is it? That's coming back very, very fast. Just shows the tempo at which this group of riders is able to ride this particular climb. Larry Almania is in front, and they're nearly at the top of Kigali Golf, and they're almost on her wheel. Kissinger looks comfortable, doesn't she? Number 18. Also, Alyssa Sarted States is there at the back. She looks very comfortable on these climbs as well. So the peloton come round the corner. Everybody looks at each other. They've almost caught the leader. They're 12 seconds behind her, but now there's no real push to try and catch her. The Italian team moving around a little bit just behind. Abigail Miller just pedalling her way back on. Megan Aaron's doing the same. Marta Dolvin in the colours of Norway, that red, white and blue coloured kit. She wants water. Looking for her Soigneur. It's extremely warm. She sees her Soigneur a little bit further up. Looking for some water now, which she manages to get, which is good news. Gets rid of the bottle as well. Got a gel attached to that. Puts it in the pocket. She'll need that a little bit later. She's still got 35 kilometres to go. So important that these riders are able to get their hydration. First hour of racing, 34.3 kilometres an hour. We're not actually that far off the average speed of the women's under-23 road race when you look at it. So this time round, she's going to get 2 laps of racing to go. This is our solo leader, Larry Almania of Spain. Two laps of racing to decide this World Championship, and this is a shot, gives you that perspective in the background of the hills that just roll away from here. Now Great Britain have decided it's time to try and keep some momentum going, not let this gap go out too much. We're heading towards the cobbles again. Megan Aaron's just pouring some water onto her legs and just trying to keep herself as cool as possible. It started at 19 degrees. when we came out for today's race, but it still feels intense, even at 19 degrees. It's not quite so intense in here. Someone's put the air conditioning on at about 12 degrees, but apart from that, you go outside and it feels completely different. Here's our rider from Lesotho, Ponso Makatile. She's starting to grow a lead again. The blackboard comes up and just shows her what her time gap is. Because remember, as we've said a few times, there's no race radios in this race. This is the French rider, Maeva Planiol, who has pulled out of the race. Not her day today.
Number 19, Maeva.
It's good she's got 2 bottles on the bike now, so she can keep herself nicely hydrated around this course. 66k an hour. She just checks over her shoulder just to see what the situation is. She'll want to get to the cobbles, just keep things pushing on and see who comes across to her, maybe hoping that she can sort of prize some riders across. And it's really taking the pressure off the rest of the Spanish riders here, which is great for them. Paul Ostis, one of the race favourites, and Alejandro Nera. Gabriella McHugh wearing number 3, and just behind her is Anishka Kisakova. Onto the cobbles then for the next time. She's chosen to go to the left-hand side. Notably, riders seem to prefer to go far left or far right if they can, if they're on their own. And a problem here. Oh, and this is not good news. The Ethiopian rider, this is Segi Kiros. She's had a mechanical. Oh, trying to get herself going again now. And she's got a bit of a chase. Well, the hopes of Ethiopia. She's been riding an incredible race so far, but Kiros now is in difficulty. She's got to fly her way up the cobbles, and that can take her into a zone she didn't want to be in. Now, it depends how hard this group of riders ride this climb, because if they realise she's not there, they're going to try and take advantage. She's going to have to pick her way through all of these riders. Here she is. This will give you an idea of how good a climber she is. She's got to be careful here not to overextend herself if there's more attacks. So they're about to catch the solo leader on this climb. The third ascent of Kimihurura. Sydney Swarenga there on the right-hand side for Canada. The Ethiopian rider is almost there. I can just see her in the background. She's flying her way up this climb. Meanwhile, riders like Roos Muller and others are going out the back. Lydia Cusack of the USA is dropped. Number 39. Ushakova of Ukraine being dropped now, so is Gabriella McHugh. USA, I think, with Sarkisov could be their hope for today. Just got to believe. It looks like Kiros has got herself back into the wheels now, and luckily for her, this peloton is not forcing the pace at the front. At the end of the day, actually, it's been her that has done most of the pace-making on these cobbles, with Anja Grossman of Switzerland Canada still looking good with 2 riders there. Italy look the strongest though, don't they? All 3 of their riders riding on that left-hand side, looking good. .20 kilometers an hour the pace. Well, the Ethiopian rider is back in the group then. Sege Kiros, she's right on the back, tucked herself in now, hiding to try and recover. The Australian rider there on the left-hand side, she still looks good. Tully Schweitzer. Tully Schweitzer just tucks herself in, 18 years of age, and was 28th in the time trial the other day. She's had some good results, finished 2nd in the Tour of Assen this year. Our Tour of Assen is a very famous junior bike race. And Australia got 2 representatives in here now. But Tully Schweitzer's always been near the front. Tour of Assen, famous bike race, juniors around the world go to every year. Number 37, Castrillo, being dropped, trying to come back. It really is a horrible climb, isn't it? The group is just off the back. Constantly on the front is Anja Grossman in the red and white of Switzerland. It's a very steady tempo this time as they make their way to the completion of this lap. They're going to get 2 laps of racing to go. Everybody doesn't seem to be prepared to take the initiative right now, knowing that this distance is starting to bite, the legs are starting to hurt a little bit more, and no rider has really managed to break away for a long period of time. We just saw the Spaniard for nearly a lap.
Yes, that's what we want to hear. Hear them on, bang on the barriers here.
So they pedal their way towards the completion of this lap now. It's a tough climb, a real drag up to the line. More riders have found their way back in. So the recovery there of the Ukrainian rider, she's found her way back into the group of riders. We're at nearly an hour and 20 minutes of racing. The women's junior road race is starting to enter its finale now. 2 laps of racing to go. This is our peloton, which actually has swelled in numbers, bearing in mind there were only 18 riders in the peloton last time around. They go through, the average speed has dropped, 33.902 the average speed. Led over the line by Arabella Blackburn. 37 riders now in that front group, so we've really swelled and more than doubled it.
Was a lap completed in 33.5 of the day. Average speed of this race 33 kilometers.
37 riders in that front group now, and so many riders who might have been suffering earlier may well now be feeling, okay, we've now got a chance and I'm starting to ride into this race.
behind.
Abigail Miller moves up, gets rid of the gel. She doesn't want that. Number 17 alongside her is Marta Dolven. And now Great Britain start to accelerate a little bit. Arabella Blackburn was the first rider across the line. She starts to up the pace. And now a really stretched group of riders as they start to put maybe the last couple of laps plan into place. So a bit of an acceleration now, and Italy are starting to put riders in here. Italy have just been following all day today. So again, everybody looking at each other, swinging across the road. No one prepared to take the initiative right now after that acceleration. Spanish team come forward again. Last year it was Kat Ferguson who took the victory ahead of Paula Ostis. Ostis is in here. She's the rider in that Movistar helmet, in third place in this group of riders. So she was silver medalist last year. She wants the victory this year as Spain start to ramp this up a little bit. More counter-attacks. There's how the peloton is comprised. Feels here like there's been this lull in the middle of the race, and now we're starting to get more riders who believe that this championship could be theirs, whereas before they were really suffering in the wheels. So it's going to be these last couple of laps, and particularly that cobbled section in those last two laps, that is going to decide this race. Another big move at the front. Big acceleration. Riders really trying to get clear now from the front of this women's junior road race, using this uphill section to stretch the tempo. That little attack is nullified. Yet again, Anja Grossman at the front for Switzerland. The rider who looks the most comfortable in this race right now is the Ethiopian. And I would also say the Spanish rider, Paula Ostis, looks really comfortable. She's made her way up towards the front. She's now got her team working. Almania is doing everything she can. Megan Aarons is at the back of the group still, so she has survived all of the assaults. Almania gets a bottle. Making her way through the gears. Little conversation going on here. A chance then for some team tactics. Don't always get too much opportunity for the team tactics because of junior race, no radios. You've got to go back to the team car, but it's a nice lull here to get a chance to talk to your sports director, get some information, think about how you're going to win this race. Really intent, aren't they? This peloton is fully focused now. Italy moving up on the right-hand side. Not a big attack. Constant moves to try and shift a breakaway group of riders. Every single time this road goes uphill. Yet again, Anja Grossman not prepared to let this go, the Swiss rider. 52k an hour over the top of that climb, and still this race is stretched. But still no chance of these riders getting away because every single attack is nullified. So a really stretched peloton now. We're coming up to Kigali Golf for the next time. We're not too far away from that climb. That might be another springboard. Seemingly the Swiss rider Anja Grossman wants this race to keep together. She must feel incredibly strong today to try and win at the top of the final climb or to make her move on the cobbles. And Spain now take control. They seemingly want to keep things nice and controlled for Paula Ostis. I do wonder though whether she can win at the top of this final rise. She's a good sprinter. We saw her very strong in the time trial. Not too far to go now, 24.1 kilometers. Only one rider has managed to take a big advantage over the rest of the field, but it was quickly brought back together. So it's kind of been an ebb and flow of a race. But we've maybe not lost as many riders as we thought. The only time we did was when Kiros attacked over the top of that climb and took only 18 riders to the finish. I wonder whether, having now recovered after that problem, that she will be the rider who manages to make that happen again. The question is whether the legs are good after that mechanical and having to chase so hard. Flick of the elbow. Great Britain seem to want to have something happen here. Look at the length of this peloton. One long line as we make our way towards Kigali Golf this time. Elia Marta at the back for Switzerland. Her teammate Anja Grossman has been the rider on the front most of the time. France moving up. They've only got one rider left, so he's Poirier. So she gives France an opportunity. Australia still with two riders in here. So Arabella Blackman still trying to get some sort of attack going for Great Britain. She's constantly looking around, checking on where everybody is. Her team leader for the day would be Erin Boothman behind. She's wearing number 2. But they may well decide that Arabella Blackburn is feeling the best today. She certainly looks strong, but she just can't get away. Towering over the rest of the riders and looking exceptionally strong as we near the conclusion of this race. Again, it's Spain in the ascendancy and Colombia also getting involved in the mix now. The Greek rider, who was dropped a little while ago towards the beginning of the race, is now back and she's moving up on the outside. Almost to the bottom of Kigali Gulf again for this time. Here we go into this climb. Is there going to be some sort of selection over the top? Anya Grossman checks over her shoulder. She wants to try and force this a little bit, moving left and right. She's quite an animated rider in the way she rides. She moves left, she moves right. She wants other people to get involved in the action that she's creating. She checks over her shoulder again. She looks strong. She's carrying the colours of Switzerland proudly today. 14% gradient, and she's making it look pretty easy. Arabella Blackburn dropping away a little bit because of this gradient. She's been doing a lot of work. Italy still with 3 riders locked together in this group. Canada with 2 riders. Aarons gets dropped again. These climbs are just not for her. You've got to admire the way she's fighting. She's trying everything she can to stay in the group. Paul Ostis, right-hand side in the blue of Spain with that white and kind of yellow-coloured helmet. The Movistar colours. Australia still with 3 riders in this group now. All the Australians are in position. Hannah Gennati, Niamh Parslow and Tully Schweitzer now all in this group of riders in this selection. French rider still looking good, Thais Poirier. She's totally on her own, having lost a teammate before the start, and her other teammate has abandoned the race. Rides for the Mormont development team. She's a very good climber. Shikova at the back of the group now. Over the top of Kigali Gulf. That's that 800-metre climb at 8.1%. Yet again, the group of riders have been dropped, desperately trying to get themselves back to the race to swell the numbers at the front. Riders constantly taking gels on board, trying to keep the nutrition levels as high as they can, because we're entering the critical part of this Junior World Championship. Well, the last few years it's been Kat Ferguson, Julie Bigot, Zoe Baxter, Megan Jastrab who've been the winners. Before that, there's some other famous medalists in this world title. Emma Norsgaard won a silver medal in 2017. Elisa Balsamo was the winner in 2016. Chloe Dygert 10 years ago in 2015. Anishka Skalnak-Soika won bronze medals in 2015 and 2014. We remember Amelia Diedrichson, who won gold in 2013 and 2014. And this afternoon, Pauline Ferrand-Prévot comes back for the second year run into the World Championships as the winner now of the Tour de France Femme avec Zwift, gold medalist in 2010 and silver medalist in 2009. Ferrand-Prévot is one of the race favourites for the women's race this afternoon. 15 years since she won gold in the junior race. She's also been the elite world champion before as well in Ponferrada. We're almost at the cobbles now. Just 2.1 kilometres until the cobbled section for the penultimate time. Spain are in control. It's amazing that we had 18 riders and now we're back up at nearly 40. Just shows how junior racing can go sometimes. Sergei Kyrgios moves up on the left-hand side in the colours of Ethiopia. Again, she starts to look like she's maybe feeling better. Let's hope she doesn't have that mechanical issue again at the bottom of this climb. Lia Marta of Switzerland constantly leaving just 2 or 3 bike lengths.
Ethiopia, yes.
A moment of a lull again before we hit the cobbles and rumble our way up them for the penultimate time in this race. We're at nearly 10 o'clock in the morning. These riders have been up for hours. The preparation time being presented to the crowd, signing on, getting themselves ready. I saw the Spanish team all warming up on the rollers before the start of this race. All of them in a line, all together, the Spanish squad of Almeida, Aranguren, Castro, Nera and Ostis. They were alongside each other, chatting away in the pits area, just trying to get those legs warmed up nicely ahead of the race.
So we're going to sign in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Thanks very much for joining us. I hope that your rider you're cheering on is here in the peloton and still going well. If you'd like to be in touch, at Ant McCrossan is where you can get hold of me. Don't forget to follow at UCI_cycling. We hit the cobbles for the penultimate time in this race. Let's just see who's prepared to take this on. Aaron Boothman moves up on the right-hand side. Yet again, it's Anya Grossman in the red and white on the left. Poland's starting to look interested now as we come towards the conclusion of this race. Maria Okryczynska is their sole representative, number 16. Still Italy with 3 riders. France on the right-hand side with Poirier. Who is going to force this pace? Who is going to cause the selection? Now Spain starting to lose riders. Armenia goes. So does Aranguren. And Arabella Blackburn is being dropped as well, having been at the front of the peloton a little while ago. Kind of a drag race now. Their legs are hurting. They don't have the same snap that they had before. Romania just rocking and rolling left and right, trying to take some of the steepness out of this particular climb. Marta Dolvin being dropped for Norway as well. The Ukrainian has dropped, and now the Ethiopian comes to the front again, Sege Kiros. She's the rider who did the damage a couple of laps ago. We're heading towards the bell, a key moment, as Kiros is just kind of struggling to find her line on this particular rise this time. But we are losing more riders. It seems that the pace is a lot harsher. The Greek rider still in there towards the back. Papadomitrou is riding strongly, and the USA have representatives. Australia on the right-hand side. Erin Boothman of Great Britain is up there. Hasn't been anywhere near the front. This is Gabriella McHugh. Great Britain have won 3 of the last 5. That doesn't sound healthy, does it? Now the Australian team decide time to up this pace. Is this going to be one of the main selections? A good move here. I don't know about you, but I love this shot of the... It just reminds me so much of a European classic. And suddenly the Polish rider, Okaczynska, is being dropped. Also being distanced now is Lydia Cusack. Little groups of riders spread all over this cobbled climb. A real push now, a real selection starting to be made. This is the time when you really need to force. Paula Ostis looks so comfortable for Spain. We reach the top. There may be still an opportunity for some riders to come back, depending on how hard this group of riders force it now over the top. The riders just take a big deep breath as they go over the top of this climb and get themselves set for this fast section downhill, and then another climb up towards the top. Underneath the red kite, 1,000 meters to go to the end of this lap, and we get the bell. Group of, what, 20-odd riders now at the front. Okaczynska comes back for Poland. She makes it onto the back of the group.
And we look up to the big screen. A lot of action. Get ready, everybody that is along this finish line here.
So we're going to see now what the average speed has been so far, how the riders are doing, because the selection is potentially being made. Anya Grossman still is the rider who consistently checks left and right as riders just survive and come back. And if this happens next lap, then riders could find themselves sprinting for the win from the back group, because every single time we get here, everybody just looks at each other. Kiros is there, So is the Norwegian rider who's looked good all day. Oda Gissinger is in this front group.
Let's all focus on the finish line for the
And still more riders return. Coming back is Rusmula. It's kind of stalemate. There are riders who have not even thought about being at the front of this race today. They've just hidden all day. Coming up then to complete this lap. One lap of racing to go in this Junior World Championship. And it's stalemate at the front of the peloton. There's too much at stake. Anya Grossman and De Laurentiis are the two riders who lead. So across the line that time, it was De Laurentiis, Grossman, Silo, Quiros, Carrier of Canada. Swerenga of Canada is up there as well. Gissinger of Norway. Thais Poirier, Laura Feeve of Belgium, Niamh Parslow of Australia, Erin Boothman of Great Britain, Chantal Pagolo of Italy, Paula Ostis of Spain, Tully Schweitzer of Australia is there, Maria Oruczynska of Poland is at the back, Liliana Edwards is also there. The group swelled to 24 riders as we made our way across there, and the average speed 34.013. The average speed that lap was actually helped to increase the average speed of the race. 24 riders at the front. Another group of riders trying to come back. One lap to go. The Chilean rider makes it back as well. Marlon Rojas wearing number 50. Number 61 there is Danshina. Everybody seems to be looking at Anya Grossman as the rider who has dictated everything. She is a fantastic bike rider, as you can see there. She's a great mountain biker. Now it comes down to whether someone is prepared to attack, take the risk and go away. Because there's not far left now. 14 kilometers of racing. The Italian rider on the left-hand side in that white helmet is Elena De Laurentiis. So there's 3 riders from Australia, 3 from Italy, 3 from the USA. I'll let you look at the rest of the riders who are in here. Now we get an attack. Big move off the front. You've got to be prepared to take some risks. And Rusmula is a rider who is prepared to take some risks. Anya Grossman tries to go across, stamps on the pedals. Italy try and close the gap. They want this to be a sprint up the final climb. So Rusmula goes. She's joined immediately by Spikarova. Anya Grossman trying to go across now. If she gets there, this is a very, very dangerous move in this race. They hit the bottom of the penultimate climb with 6.7 kilometers to go. Grossman is going to make it into the front group to make it 3 attackers. The Czechia rider into second place. Spikarova. Anya Grossman just trying to make the junction now, which she does. Immediately goes to the front to try and assist in this group of riders going away. But it is Canada who don't want this to happen. They're going to close the gap. They believe that Swarenga can win this race this afternoon. So here we go then, another counter-attack starts to happen and Swarenga closes the gap immediately. So Swarenga up towards the front. Maybe they're riding now for Canada for Raphael Carrier. She's ridden for the Arkea B&B Hotels squad this year, 2025, trainee from the 1st of August. She's won a few races this year. She's the Canadian road race champion. She's the rider on the right, just took a bottle with a red helmet on. Another big attack. Roos Muller tries to go again. If you don't succeed the first time, try again. Anya Grossman tries to go. Sydney Swarenga wants to make sure that this comes back. But Roos Muller has been a rider who's been distanced a couple of times in this race. And now she's trying to open up an advantage before the climbs to give herself a chance of winning. If at first you don't succeed, try again with 10.9 kilometers to go. Roos Muller of the Netherlands goes clear. This is a dangerous move. She's a powerful, powerful bike rider. Roos Muller now on the move. This rider rides for the NXTG racing team. Very important squad in development of women's cycling, that NXTG team. They've brought so many bike riders through. They used to own the AG Insurance team, which is now part of the Soudal Quickstep team. But they've been amazing at spotting talent. Roos Muller goes through, and immediately the Polish rider senses an opportunity as well. Okruczynska onto the wheel. Sydney Swarenga is the rider in that white helmet, multicoloured bike just behind. Still, Aliyah Marta is at the back with Megan Aarons, who has been a rider with 9 lives today. She really has. She has come back so many times. Things are really mixing up at the moment. The Italians are comfortable. Elena De Laurentiis pours some water on her head. Not far to the bottom of the climb. 2 kilometers. Arabella Blackburn comes back to the front for Great Britain, having been dropped to try and help Erin Boothman win this title. Abigail Miller is there on the right, the Greek rider to her left-hand side. So is Megan Aarons, number 22. It's all going to be about who has got it on these final 2 climbs. Can you stay in the mix? Can you go with the pace that gets set by the climbers? These riders will believe that this is their race today. Still Australia with their riders intact. So difficult to pick, isn't it, who's going to win this title? There's so many riders who have got a chance. The average speed now over 35 kilometers an hour. They've speeded up over the last couple of laps. Arabella Blackburn turns around and takes a little look. The French rider tucks herself in, Thais Poirier. Anya Grossman is there. Little conversation at the front between these riders. Everybody looks pretty intent now. We are pretty close to the bottom of this climb. Are we going to see some attacks? Eve Parslow of Australia has always been near the front, and she is moving up again. Tilly Schweitzer is there too. Still, Arabella Blackburn sets the pace for Great Britain. When do we see the first attacks? Are they going to move on Kigali Gulf? Raphael Carrier there on the right-hand side for Canada. Kissinger at the back, number 18, gives the legs a shake. She's ready for the moves, but she needs to move up a little bit. Still stalemate in this junior women's road race. It's a little nervy in there now. Riders who are thinking about taking this title, but it's really anybody's race. Paula Ostis, left-hand side of Spain, moves up. Apatomitru moves on the left-hand side in that blue and white jersey. Gets into the aero tuck as she comes forward. Didn't expect when we saw 18 riders left that we would have so many riders in with a chance. And still, everybody, a little bit of balking of Sydney Shrenga there of Canada. Anya Grossman goes. Spain try and make sure that everybody is still controlled. And Arabella Blackburn, having done her work, is distanced. Being dropped again is Roos Muller. Also being distanced is Hannah Giannati of Australia. So Australia have two riders left. The Ethiopian rider makes her move on the right-hand side. Doesn't seem to have the legs she had earlier on in this race. Maybe did a little bit too much work. Also had that big chase when she had the mechanical. But she's forcing. Anya Grossman has ridden on the front most of this race today. Kissinger is hanging on the back as Fury is dropped. .450 meters to go. Swerenga in the middle, Grossman in the white and red of Switzerland. Paul Ostis with her team on the left-hand side. Raphael Carrier on the right-hand side. Papadimitrou is tucked in. The Ethiopian rider not prepared to go on the attack here this time. She's still there or thereabouts. Sege Kiros. Sunshine comes out onto the back of the riders as they hug the right-hand side of the road, and it's still a bit of stalemate. There's been no real acceleration, but finally Spain starts it. And we get the accelerations because they need to make it hard. Otherwise, there's going to be too many riders left in this race. It becomes a big lottery if you don't get rid of some riders. And that sudden acceleration drops some riders. Laura Feeve is dropped for Belgium. Also distanced is Leah Marta of Switzerland. But the pace goes out again. They're over the top of the penultimate climb of the day. It's all going to be about the cobbles. It's almost a track stand race now. They're going to let everybody back in after having had that little acceleration. How does this race get won? Is someone going to launch and just take an opportunity? Because right now, if you launch and you try, you never know what might happen. Abigail Miller comes back. Moving up on the outside is Gissinger. Does she try and go on the move? No one is prepared to take a risk. But you take 20 seconds right now and you never know. More riders come back. It is a course that's caused stalemate in the women's junior race. Marlon Rojas, right-hand side. Anja Grossman looking for a big win for Switzerland. The first ever winner of this race in 1987 was Catherine Marcel. Other winners include Ashlyn Barry's mum, Demet Barry. She won in 1989 in Moscow. The Lidl Trek Sports Director, Ina Joko Tuttenberg, won. And finally, we get a rider prepared to take a risk. This is a big move. The Greek rider decides, I'm not prepared to wait for the sprint. Papadimitriou goes. Big acceleration. This is a good move by Papadimitriou. Big acceleration, and she's opening up a little bit of a gap now. Maybe she doesn't trust to have the sprint up the final climb. And a big long group of riders. Irini Papadimitriou rides for that NXTG racing team. She'll have been taught how to win bike races by that squad. We're not far from the cobbles. We get there in 2.2 kilometers time. A big stretch of this race. Irini Papadimitriou, look at that big acceleration down the right-hand side. Comes from Rhodes in Greece. Well, she's got the gap. And Anja Grossman doesn't necessarily want to close this. Otherwise, she's going to ruin her own chances. She goes into time trial mode now. There's only a few meters between her and the rest of the peloton, but she's moving well. She won the recent Volta Portugal under-19 race, so don't underestimate this rider. Oh, the Spanish team are going to hunt her down. Checks over her shoulder again. Still Megan Aarons hangs on. And Spain close it down. They want this rider to win on the left-hand side. Paula Ostis, second last year to Cap Ferguson. Now they start to turn. Going to the front, the Polish rider, Okroczynska. 3.3 kilometers now remain in this race. Sergei Kiros is still there for Ethiopia. Paul Ostis on the front. Wonder whether they're going to ride for her now, judging by the amount of work she's doing at this point in the race. It's not a good time to be doing that. We come down and we get ready for the cobbles for the final time. Maybe she felt it was important to be at the front. Now we get onto the cobbles and Anja Grossman decides to go. This is her time to accelerate. Grossman decides it's time to put on the hurt for everybody else. This is a big acceleration. Paula Ostis is with her. Erin Berthman is there. So is Sydney Swarenga. And the Ethiopian rider, Segi Kiros, is there as well. This is the moment in this race where you have to fight and have to be at the front of this bike race. Nord Kaczynska is also there. Paula Ostis suffering on the left-hand side, stamping on the pedals. But Anja Grossman is going to go full flight all the way. Oh, and Erin Berthman again pulls her feet out of the pedals. Why? They haven't fixed that over the last few days. That's incredible. She pulled her foot out. Or maybe it's cramp or something's happened. Tully Schweitzer also. And disappointment for the British rider. Anja Grossman ups the tempo. Paula Ostis right-hand side. Swarenga is there. So is the Ethiopian, Sege Kiros. This could be an historic moment for Africa. She doesn't seem to quite have the legs right now. She's going a little bit backwards. Two Italian riders still there. And Anja Grossman has gone full flight all the way up this climb. Nord Kaczynska is dropped. Sege Kiros fighting for all she is worth. The two Italian riders are still in the group. Chantal Pagolo and Giada Silo. Anja Grossman gets set. The French rider is dropped. Thais Poirier is out the back. And suddenly the Ethiopian rider cracks as well. That's a shame for her. Sege Kiros, I think she did too much work too early. And we have a selection of 5 riders now at the front. Anja Grossman has literally ripped this race apart on the final climb. So we continue with this, and that's such a bad moment for Erin Berthman. Surely someone should have checked those pedals. If you pull your foot out in a time trial, this is the front group. Swarenga is there. Pegolo is the rider in the blue helmet. Number 27, there is Silo. Well, that filled-in helmet, the Italian colours, is Pegolo. The other Italian is Silo. And Swarenga of Canada is looking good. Paula Ostis and Anja Grossman still riding full on. It's such a shame for the Ethiopian. I think she did too much work and then she had to chase, because she was the best climber earlier on in the race, but there is no point being the best climber on lap 2. You have to be the best climber on the final lap of racing. Right now we have 5 riders going for the medals. They can't mess around here. Thais Poirier of France knows that if they hesitate, she's got a chance. And they all hesitate and all look at each other. Italy need to take this on now, otherwise they're all coming back. They've made the selection, now they need to ride. Swarenga, number 15 on the right-hand side. They are playing into the hands of the chasers right now. There is no point doing this. They're about to throw this world title away. 7 seconds. They're going to let some riders back in. If you ride like this for the last kilometre, then it looks like it will come back together. This is not good news. It's stalemate in the front group. Where are the chasers? 500 meters to go. They must feel that the chasers won't come back. So 5 riders getting set. There is 1 chaser in the gap, and it is the French rider who's trying to get herself back here. Poirier is almost there for France, the only rider left in the French squad. She's closing in steadily. Poirier is going to catch these 5 riders at the front. Grossman has been the rider in control of this entire race. Paula Ostis was the silver medalist last year. Poirier is nearly there. They're almost back now, and suddenly these riders believe that there is a chance of winning this medal, and the Ethiopian is kicking. Segi Kiros has got the legs and is trying to come back now to catch the rest of the riders and take a medal for Africa. Orkachinska is there. 200 meters of racing to go, and look at Segi Kiros of Ethiopia on the right-hand side as she tries to get back to the front. The sprint has started, and Kiros is back on the group of riders. Here they go now. Paula Ostis starts the sprint very early. Ostis goes on her wheel. Is Pagola, but is it going to be Ostis? It is. Silver last year. Ostis is the world champion from Pagolo, from Anya Grossman. Behind them was Kiros was not too far away, but it is Paula Ostis of Spain who takes the victory. She takes the world title she's been looking for. Collapses on the ground after that sprint. It means a lot. The other day she looked incredibly disappointed, didn't she, in her not taking the gold. Spain have only ever taken a silver last year with Paula Ostis. This time she's the world champion. What a job they did for her today. They chased everything down. They knew she had the chance. She finally takes it. It was stalemate on that climb, wasn't it? Absolute stalemate. They almost let everybody back in. They timed it to perfection. 6th place for Thais Poirier, 7th place for the Ethiopian Segi Kiros. Niamh Parslow of Australia in 8th, Maria Okrachinska in 9th, Alicia Sarkisov of USA in 10th. Spain finally have a gold medalist in the Junior Women's World Championship. It's their first one since 1987 when this race started. They've never taken the gold. I saw them all warming up earlier today. Their preparation was right. They did everything they had to do. They chased everything down when they had to. They finally take the world title. The final sprint as Segi Kiros and the French rider Thais Poirier came back onto the group. The sprint just opened up in time. Chantal Pagolo of Italy in 2nd, Anya Grossman of Switzerland in 3rd. She was the rider of the race, no doubt. Emotional scenes here at the finish line.
me lo veo. Gracias. Bien.
And the head of the Movistar team, of which she rides,
Gracias.
says congratulations.
No, no, sí. Gracias. Gracias. ¿Cómo te lo Wow.
Well, they were the team who looked to have things under control, didn't they? Almenia was the rider who went on the attack. She was the rider who took the pressure off everybody. Great work by Spain in that race. She's a popular rider, this one.
La documentación para control luego.
Let's take a look at the result of the women's junior race. Paula Ostis of Spain wins in 2 hours, 9 minutes and 19 seconds. Italy take the silver with Chantal Pagolo. Switzerland, Anya Grossman, very well deserved third place. Canada's Sydney Swarengo in fourth. Kira Silo in fifth. Thais Poirier, France, in sixth place. A big moment for Africa. Segi Kiros finishes in the top 10 for Ethiopia. We get ready for the interview and the podium presentation here in Kigali. Here's the moment of that sprint. She was the most powerful over the top of that rise. The chasers were right on the tail.
Ahora, segunda del crono, hay 2-3 días y ahora campeona del mundo. Es una semana increíble.
Sí, es un sueño hecho realidad, ¿no? No tengo palabras. Mi familia me está viendo ahora, todo el país. Y Manol, la persona que está día a día conmigo, su familia, solo puedo darle las gracias a ellos porque para mí es una persona súper importante, ¿no? Y nada, se me ha hecho realidad. Solo puedo dar, no sé, mucha felicidad tengo encima y solo quiero disfrutarlo con mi familia, con ellos, con las personas que me rodean y ya.
¿Puedes hablar un poco del día y del final con más o menos 10 otras corredores? Muy difícil y supongo mucha tensión.
Sí, no, sabía que tenía que guardar hasta el final porque he visto todas las carreras anteriores y bueno, hay a veces que me costaba un poco en los repechos más duros, ¿no? Y sabía que el sprint podía ser rápida, pero al final me había dado un pequeño calambre, ¿no? Y solo quería guardar hasta el sprint y lo que sea ha sido y he ganado y no me lo creo.
Muchas gracias, felicidades.
An emotional rider here at the finish, isn't she? She can tell how much it means and saying thank you to all her family. Those are the people who are the most important in her eyes. Thank you to them and everyone who helped her take the victory. She said the race was very hard, the sprint was hard, but she had the speed to take the win overall at the end of that hard race. Paula Ostis takes A very well-deserved victory. The Spanish team played that to perfection, didn't they? I thought she was about to do a Giulia Ciccone and throw the glasses. Paul Ostis wins. It's so difficult, isn't it, when you finish second place a year before to come out again and fight and win. It's what Kat Ferguson did in 2023. She finished silver and she won in 2024. It's so hard to do. It really is. The pressure in your own head is immense to be able to do that. And we get ready for this podium presentation. We're about an hour and 20 minutes now from the start of the women's race. I hope that the clouds that are gathering here are not going to cause rain on this particular course this afternoon. We've had no rain in any race. It does look like we might get rain during the afternoon, which on these roads might not be good news. Here's the moment it looked like things were all going to go wrong for these riders as they all looked at each other. Ostis got rid of her bottles. And everybody got ready to sprint, but it's a long, long way to the finish. They were riding easily, weren't they? Ostis was just getting ready, working out which rider she was going to jump off. Paul Ostis just waiting, waiting, waiting. She sprinted on the tops as well. You can see even here, they're checking over their shoulder, 500 meters to go. And there was no one there, but suddenly you started to see riders coming back because they rode this last section so slow. You could see the French rider, Thais Poirier, coming across. She ended up in 6th place at the back of the group. But it was the move of the Ethiopian, Sergei Kiros, that really started to bring things back together. Look how fast the group behind comes back to the wheels. .300 meters to go. They haven't started to sprint. They check over their shoulder one more time. They realize it's getting a bit risky. Thais Poirier tying up a little bit at that point, but 200 meters to go. It looked like things were going to come back together and a rider behind might jump past and win. Ostis started her sprint at 150, nearly 100 meters was the last sprint. They're getting ready for the presentation. The rainbow jersey is ready. We're ready for this presentation now. As we look out over Kigali, we're ready for a big afternoon of racing. I really hope it doesn't rain this afternoon, because it looks like it could. Well, the Spanish team are all ready for this presentation. They haven't even bothered changing. They're just getting ready to cheer on their teammate. Almeida, Aranguren, Castro, Nera, they were the riders who put in all the work. In particular, Lara Almeida, who was out on her own for a period of time today to take the pressure off the Spanish team so they didn't have to chase. Still riders finishing. Just seeing Rahel Gimbato of Ethiopia just finish. We're ready for this presentation now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the awards ceremony of the 2025 UCI Road World Championships in Kigali. Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à la cérémonie protocolaire des championnats du monde route UCI 2025 à Kigali.
Ikaze kuri mwese muteraniye hano, ikaze kuba dukurikiye mwese, tubaha ikaze mu biro byo gutanga ibihembo ku bakinnyi bitwaye neza muri shampiyona y'isi y'amagare y'2025 UCI Road World Championships iri gukinirwa ahangaha i Kigali.
Here's our medalists.
Awards ceremony of the 2025 UCI Road World Championships Women Junior Road Race. L'heure des championnats du monde route UCI 2025 course en ligne femmes junior.
Hagiye guhembwa batsinze muri shampiyona y'isi y'amagare mu 2025 mu cyiciro cy'abangavu Women Junior Road Race.
The medals and jersey will be presented by Mr. Rocco Cataneo, UCI Management Committee member. Les médailles et le maillot seront remis par Mr. Rocco Cataneo, membre du comité directeur de l'UCI.
Imidari n'imyambaro iyenerwa batsinze igiye gutangwa na bwana Rocco Cataneo, umwe mu bagize komite nyobozi ya UCI.
In third place and winner of the bronze medal representing Switzerland. À la troisième place et vainqueur de la médaille de bronze représentant la Suisse.
Ku mwanya wa gatatu n'umudari w'umuringa byegukanywe n'umukinnyi ukinira Ubusuwisi.
Anja Grossman.
Anja Grossman finishes in third place here for Switzerland. A fitting medal 1 year after the loss of her friend. She rode a stunning race, Anja Grossman, today. She was always in the moves, always at the front, always pushing her tempo. She was the one who made the selection.
Représentant l'Italie.
Ku mwanya wa kabiri n'umudari wa feza byegukanywe n'umukinnyi ukinira Ubutaliyani
Chantal Pegolo.
Italy have a silver medal with Chantal Pagolo.
In first place, UCI World Champion and winner of the gold medal representing Spain. À la première place, championne du monde UCI et gagnante de la médaille d'or représentant l'Espagne.
shampiyona y'isi yo gusiganwa ku magare n'umudari wa zahabu yegukanywe n'umukinnyi ukinira Espagne
Paula Ostis Taco.
Paula Ostis is the world champion. The first time Spain win the Junior World Championship. One of her teammates is unable to hold back the tears there in that group of riders. I think it's Lara Almeida, who was out in the front for a long time. I think she's been crying since she crossed the finish line.
The gifts will be presented by Monsieur Martin Bertrand, VP Brand, Sponsorship and Advertising at Total Énergie. Les cadeaux seront remis par Monsieur Martin Bertrand, directeur marque, sponsoring et publicité chez Total Énergie.
impano zigiye gutangwa na bwana Martin Bertrand akaba ari Vice President wa Brand Sponsorship and Advertising muri Total Energy.
The Tissot watch will be presented by Mr. Rocco Cataneo, UCI Management Committee member. La montre Tissot sera présentée par Mr. Rocco Cataneo, membre du comité directeur de l'UCI.
Impano y'isaha ikorwa n'uruganda Tissot igiye gutangwa na bwana Rocco Cataneo, umwe mu bagize komite nyobozi ya UCI.
Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of our new UCI World Champion, we present the national anthem of Spain. Mesdames et messieurs, en l'honneur de notre nouvelle championne du monde UCI, nous vous présentons l'hymne national de l'Espagne.
Mudufashe nanone gushimira uwegukanye shampiyona y'isi y'amagare no gukomeza kumuha icyubahiro twese duhaguruke mu gihe haririmbwa indirimbo yubahiriza igihugu cye cya Espagne.
Ladies and gentlemen, please one
Paula
more time your
Ostis
applause
is the
for our
world
medalists.
champion.
Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez applaudir une dernière fois nos médaillés.
Murakoze cyane, twongere dushimire abegukanye imidari muri irushanwa mu byiciro bitandukanye aribo
There's our
Paula Ostis
medalist.
Taco, gold world champion, or et championne du monde. Chantal Pegolo, silver, argent, and Anya Grossman, bronze.
There's our medalist celebrating. It was an interesting race the way that played out. It's now pouring with rain in Kigali. This women's race this afternoon is going to be something different. We've not seen any rain during the days at all here in Kigali. Time to go and sign the jerseys, do the interviews, and everything else that she's going to have to deal with this afternoon. We're about 50 minutes until we start to bring you the women's race. Let's hope it doesn't rain all afternoon, because these roads are going to be incredibly slippy. Well, we're going to leave you with the signature of the jerseys and the interview. We're going to get ready for the Women's Elite Road Race, which is coming up soon. It's going to be a big afternoon here in Kigali. Time for the signatures. It's a little bit dark in there today. So there is Paula Ostis as she signs the jersey, and the replay of her final sprint to the line. Well, thank you to all of you for watching. We're going to get ready for the Women's Elite Race. We're going to leave you with these sights, her signing the jersey and her interview, and some sights of Kigali. From me, Ant McCrossan, thanks for watching. We'll be back this afternoon, well, just before the start of the afternoon, with the Women's Elite Race. Bye for now.
Ya no tengo que comprar. Ciérralo, ciérralo.
Te dije, no compres el mono.
No, es una foto.
Vamos, vamos.
Jesús, una foto.
Antes, por favor, directo y después.
Give the chance to visit the Pyrenees, French or Spanish side, something marvelous to remember. So I had a message in the chat saying Francesco Pupi gained 19 places from Ijas to Formigal, so from the 25 kilometer aid station through to the 30k aid station where they can receive team support. Sounds like he might have had a bit of a stomach problem.
Yeah, we'll see how this pans out, but hopefully, I mean, it's not hopefully, obviously if he's still racing and he's still gaining spots, then it means that he's didn't pick up an injury or something worse.
Yeah, which is good.
And as you were saying, he might just take one for the team and just go to the well, and this is not going to be a pleasant day, but he's going to be scoring time for the Italian team.
Oh, he absolutely will be doing that. Yep, it's Francesco. There's no bigger team player than Francesco Pupi, and yeah, look, this only comes around once every 2 years to go for a team medal.
So you wanna show up for it. So here, rounding up the top 13 even, we had a lot of names that we were expecting to see, and talking about Elisa Christine Dottir was in there, Sylvia Notskar, Martina Valmassoy, Ari Akiyama, Honora Hilary Girardi, Andrea Colsten Dottir, and Ida Nielsen. And I think even further down, we had Jasmine Lowther from Canada, who was just a few spots behind.
So we talked, we heard from the Nepalese team manager about a couple of the breakout runners in the men's side from Nepal. Man Kumar in 21st position. So I think it's his first major international trail race. So
that is legit.
The Nepalese runners are coming here big time. And just behind him, actually, 22nd, Kulang Suman. So shout out to the two male Nepalese runners. Stunning shots here across the ridge. So a gap kind of forming here. Jim always out in front.
And I don't know if you remember, but Beam Gurun, I don't know if you remember him. He was very, very strong Nepalese runner. Oh, there's a chamois. On the right-hand side of your screen, there was a bit of a chamois going down the slope.
That's the hunter in you coming out there, Martin.
Oh yeah, yeah. Whatever you can pick up on the screen. I mean, that's the skill we need to develop when we're doing live coverage to understand like who's coming up. So you're looking at the whole screen.
Well, I've got some work to do then. So I think that's Loisan who's just cresting that point, coming past the runners there. Jim looking out in front, Benjamin just in behind. Loisan has the dark bag, I think.
Yep. Yeah, correct. And
Benjamin not looking quite so kind of energetic, I would say, coming up that section.
Yeah, Louis Nkwafé is definitely looking the best at this very moment.
He's looking great, isn't
But again,
he?
like through a 9-hour day, you're going to have highs and lows.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yep.
And it's how you roll with the punches, how you look after yourself, how you can be confident in your mind to let them go and, all right, I'm not having a great time, I'm going to fuel, I'm going to look after myself, ease down the pace a little bit, pull myself together and do that. Because, I mean, this is exactly what Peter Hengdahl has done. And I'm impressed and excited to see him managing to come back and close that gap with the leaders. And then again, Jim, I mean, showing that he's definitely making a statement, pushing the pace.
Yeah. I think he's got a game plan. He's not going to try and dig too deep on the technical sections, knowing that he's not the strongest, but boy, has he got some good technical ability as well.
Oh, yeah. He certainly has developed them a whole lot in the past few years, and it shows because if you want to be leading at this point, seeing the terrain they've been going through, you wouldn't be able to get away with it if you weren't like an excellent technical runner, which he has become for sure.
Yeah, and do you think Jim's sort of thinking, look, I've just shaken one French runner, and now there's another one who's right in behind me.
Yeah, French is you don't get rid of him easily. Stick around.
You said it. I think we've got some French listeners in our chat as well. Jean-Yves there. Shout out to
Canadian.
Shout out to
Canadian.
Yeah. French speakers listening to the
in Japan.
English chat.
This is the Jean-Yves I know. Yep. He keen runner, and met him in Kobe during one of the stages of the Golden Trail Series. He was out there, and there we go.
Okay, looks like Jim's off the ridge now, dropping down the other side. Of course, that graphics has now changed because Loisan has moved into second position. Wow, this is crazy, stunning. These are images you could only get in the past, well, like when I was running, by helicopter, and today we can do it inexpensively, using less pollution, let's say, than we could before, and getting images which are as good, actually better, than what we could get in the past.
And that is a sick shot. I mean, look at this. Right in the background, the Midi Dosso, this iconic peak that is in the background, this ridge line on which Jim Walmsley from the US is absolutely powering up that hill. He did look over his shoulder to see the damage he had done once again by trying to push the pace. And I think he's seen a bit of a gap, a bit of an opening. So is he making an actual move to try and shake out the Frenchies once and for all? It won't be easy. It won't be easy, but it shows again the wilderness of this Spanish Pyrenees and of that course, which does justice to the runners. You know, back in the days, cross-country running was getting flatter and flatter, and the runners who had actually technical abilities to go over lugs and little punchy climbs were basically disadvantages, and it ended up being the track runners who were doing that. And so now I'm glad that, you know, they're keeping the true essence of trail running, and I hope, again, and to the conversation you were having earlier, Jono, that World Athletics is watching closely, and this is what trail running is about, and we can hope that this is what it will remain. And it's a demonstration that the understanding is there, and letting, even though they might have had to reel him in a bit, like allowing our course director to provide this kind of technicality, those high peaks, this terrain, is exactly spot on with the essence, the true essence of trail running.
Oh, exactly. You know, and it's, you know, it's still a runnable race. You know, we said that climbing section looked pretty extreme to us in the studio, but yeah,
so
those
is that descent.
those short sections, and it will. It's a true test of running and endurance ability.
Yeah. And it's so much greater for us behind our screens to watch. I mean, how amazing all those images. Like, I don't know, we're comfortable sitting on our chairs, but like, I'm pretty sure you're looking at this and you're like, can I go there? Can I go and run? Because we'd be much better off running over there.
Yeah, these are great shots, and I love that. Look how the stride length is lengthened out.
That is quintessential Jim Walmsley right there on that rolling section, on the flatter section.
He's not bothering putting the poles away either at this point.
No, fair enough.
I'm not sure if there's still a little bit more to climb in this section of the track, but it kind of looks like he's almost ready to start the a little descent. But this section actually includes constant up and downs, so it's on the ridge line.
It's a roller
constantly
coaster.
going up and down. So yeah. I can see, you know, good call. Like there's a runnable section. Now he's into the steeper section, and now he's, you know, he's not hiking. He's now running with the poles, but he's still trying to get maximum benefit out of his arms possible. You know, all about saving those legs.
And we do have a bit of a shout out in the chat from Nancy, who you have worked with. I don't know if you're still coaching her, Nancy Young. No, maybe not anymore. And Ronan.
Nancy Jang, yes.
And
great to have you joining us all the way from New Zealand.
And Ronan is actually, I mean, I should say Ronan, because just like me, he's French.
Yeah.
And but he says you're a great fisherman.
Oh yes, yeah,
there
yeah,
you go.
Yeah. I'll tell you all about how I pulled up the family dinner.
Nice one.
Almost fell out of the boat. Got tangled on the.
Oh no.
He's far too kind.
So
yeah, great to have you joining us from New Zealand, and all the best for your next races, Nancy. Competing in Western States this year.
Yep. And so I don't know who we're with here on that ridge. Could it be? Because the way he was moving across the rock, it could be Andrzej Witek, and we're going to know it soon enough because the chat is going to absolutely blow out with Polish flags and Polska Grum showing up. If that was indeed Andrzej Witek, which would mean he's still creeping up in the rankings and would be finding himself possibly even ahead of Christian Minoggio. So we weren't long enough on that runner, on that very technical section, but that would be my guess, because like that I don't think that was French, unless actually it could have very well be because he was also tall. Vincent Bouillard from Team France, because the top two Frenchies have short tights on, but Vincent could very well be with the split shorts.
So he came through in 5th place through the
Yeah,
through the
so that might be Vincent and not Angers. We shall see. But look at this here from the fixed camera. Frenchies is still chasing America.
Yeah, you can see he's putting. He's still trying to put the pressure on, but he hasn't broken the elastic. It's it's still there.
Yeah.
It stretches every now and again, but there's no way that they're letting him go. So, do you think Benjamin and Loisom would have had kind of the game plan that if they were in the position to be with Jim?
And look at again the much better trajectory here.
Yeah,
still on course. They're right by the flags.
And do you think they would? Do you think they have the now that they're with him? Do you think they're like, now we have to stay with him? Do you think that's now going to be the game plan? They need to keep him in, let's say, within a 50 meter, 50 to 100 meter.
I don't know. I know they're going to be working with each other, which is going to make a big difference. But here, I want to give a shout out to Peter Frano. Here, he is very well positioned. So if that was Vincent Bouillard, so Vincent was going to be in 5th because Peter Engdahl is right behind. We just caught a glimpse of him. And then in 6th would be Peter Frano. And so there is a bit of air between the top 4, but not that much.
No, exactly. It's
And so again, to your point, I think right now the strategy is just to stay in contact, but not burn too many matches. And if they can help each other out by taking turns right behind Jim, that would make a big difference. To know you have your fellow countrymen with you. They have trained a lot with you. They've done the training camps, the recce's together. So, and see now Benjamin Rubiol is leading. So I think they're just going to be looking at each other, looking after each other. Sorry, and I believe at some point there's going to be a clear move, and they're going to put the hammer down. And from then on, it's gonna be all out. And actually, talking about putting the hammer down, I don't know. Look at this. Jim does not want to let anyone but him in the lead.
Even though he's breaking out of gel,
fiddling in his pack to get nutrition, he put on a bit of a surge to respond to Benjamin Rubiol, who was just trying to pass at his own pace. Woo!
Yeah. He was just keeping his own rhythm. He wasn't pushing the pass. He was just
yeah. He was like, okay, you're taking your nutrition. That's all right. I'm going to pass. And no, Jim actually responded and pushed a little bit. There's a bit of a ego racing right there because that wasn't necessarily.
Contrast with track racing, when half the time nobody wants to go to the front and lead.
Well, I mean, here the drafting doesn't make much of a difference, does it?
Yeah, it's all about psychological, like who's. It's part of it, it's part of the race. And great to see Peter here. Look, he's using the arms really well actually when he's running without poles. So. And we're following Peter Frano here, I think, with coming up through one of the uphill sections. Love these camera shots, even though it's a little bit pixelated, but you can kind of see the terrain that they're running over. And this is volcanic rock. That's why it's dark. Alex mentioned in the recce that it's all ancient volcanic area here.
And look at that, Peter Frano, no poles, tiptoeing on his way up to one of those little climbs, as you were saying.